Good to see you all. Good to see you all. So, do you know what we'll be talking about today? No. Okay. So, I'm going to tell you. We will be discussing something very important. I hope you all have your pen, your notepads with you. I will try to speak in your language as much as possible. All right? So, I will be talking about who you are becoming. What did I say? Who you are becoming. Who you are becoming is the topic for today. If I ask you, who would you like to be like? Who would you like to be like? Tell me.
I like to be like Jesus.
Like to be like Jesus, okay? Any other person? I mean, in terms of career, in terms of this life, who would you like to be like? Some of us want to be like our moms. We want to be like our dads. Shekina.
My mommy.
Your mommy. You see? I mean, why would you like to be like your mommy? Tell me. She's a doctor, so you like to be a doctor as well, you know. But guess what? For Shekina to become like her mom, okay? Her mom is a doctor. She has to do some certain things. The same thing applies to all of us, okay? I mean, whoever, whatever you think you would like to become, there are some certain things you would have to do. What would you like to be in the future?
Lawyer.
You would like to be a lawyer. What would you like to be in the future?
A game developer.
A game developer. Interesting. What would you like to be in the future?
Economist.
An economist. Very good.
I don't know.
You don't know. I mean, you will know. It's just a matter. Don't feel bad about it. We all discover ourselves along the way. What would you like to be in the future?
A graphic designer.
Interesting. Good. What would you like to be in the future?
Software tester.
Software tester. Fantastic. Well done. So, we all want to be someone in life, don't we? We all want to be. Now, why do you think people want to be what they want to be? Okay? And for you to be what you want to be, are you going to be at home, sleeping, waking up, watching TV every day? For you to become that lawyer, what would you need to do? You will need to go to school, isn't it? You will need to learn, isn't it? You will need to apply yourselves to some things, all right? So the first thing I need you to understand is this. For you to become, all right, there are some certain things you need to understand. At the very beginning of our lives, when we were babies, hello, don't be distracted. Don't be distracted. When we were babies, our parents, you know, they will feed us, and right now they are still feeding us. They give us food, they work, they provide clothing for us, they provide virtually everything that we need. All right? They tell you it's time to go to school. They wake you up. You don't know why you are going to school, but you go to school, isn't it? That phase is a phase of total dependence on your parents. All right? Now, you have gotten to a stage now where whatever you do will determine what you will become in the future. What did I say? Whatever you do now will determine what you will do or become in the future. Whatever you are doing now will determine what you will become in the future. As much as mommy and daddy are still sending you to school, if you go to school and you do not pay attention to what your teachers are teaching you, if you do not take seriously your education or the skills that you are acquiring, the product of it will be seen in the future. Guess what? I am here to tell you that this phase of your life, it's your responsibility. What did I say? It is your responsibility. What you will become in the future is your responsibility. Say, it is my responsibility. What I will become in future. Please, I'd like you to write that down. It is my responsibility what I will become in the future. Is it mommy and daddy's responsibility alone? It is also your own responsibility. You know, I'm happy to see all of you here today. You are seated, you're all looking good. Obviously, I mean, you've ate breakfast this morning, you are happy, you are looking good. But guess what? There's some children out there. There's some children out there who cannot be here like you. You know why? Some of them have to work. Some of them have to, let's use our Nigerian language, hustle. Some of them have to trade. Some of them sell in traffic. We see them. Why? Because if they don't do that, they may not be able to eat. They may not be able to go to school. You will see some of them in the mechanic workshop learning a trade, whereas we are going to school. There are some children who do not even have maybe a hand. Some cannot even walk. Some have issues. But we are here. All right? And we have also seen children who, in spite of the fact that their parents cannot afford to send them to school, they have decided of their own will to make sure that they will excel in life, that they will succeed in life. They have defied all odds to make sure that they become somebody in life. Their parents cannot afford it. But guess what? They have chosen it upon themselves to make sure that they go to school, that they learn. I'm sure you must have seen some of these videos of these children in Makoko who are learning coding, who are doing things of their own, not that their parents are sending them to those schools. They don't have the opportunities that you and I, we have. And so if you and I have this opportunity, let us take the best use of it. Let us leverage on it. Do you want to try putting ice water on, pure water on, and try to do it inside traffic? Do you want to try it? It is stressful. You don't want to try it. Under the hot sun, you don't want to try it. And that is why I am saying, some people have this opportunity which you have. Some people don't have this opportunity, yet they will get there to where we are all looking at. Yet they will become lawyers. Yet they will become accountants. Yet they will become economists, software developers. Yet they will become people in life. What is the difference between the person who wakes up in the morning like you and I, and our parents are able to provide for us everything that we need without going under the sun to work, And the difference between the young boy and the young girl, whose parents cannot even afford all of the things that we enjoy today. They don't even have iPads. They don't even have the phones. They don't even have internet. Yet, some of those children will succeed in life. They will become pilots. They will become engineers. They will become somebody. The difference between these two sets of people is that they have understood that their future is their responsibility. So this is the starting point of what I need you all to understand. Now, I'd like to also talk about something else. There are two categories of people again that I want to talk about. There are producers. Does anybody know the next set of people that I want to talk about? Consumers. Fantastic. These are two sets of people. Guess what? We are all here. We are all consumers. I'm sure you must have eaten this morning. Somebody has cooked it. Somebody has bought it. You are wearing a cloth. You have consumed it. I'm speaking now is a service. You are sitting on somebody's chair. Somebody produced it. Isn't it? The church bought it, but somebody produced it. All right? We're enjoying the light. Somebody invented electricity. We are beneficiaries of it. You can imagine if the light goes off, what happens? Everybody's like, let them turn on the gen. But do you realize that somebody created the gen? Okay? We want iPad. Why do we all want iPad? There are a lot of games, a lot of things to watch on iPad. Do you realize somebody created it, invented it? But we all want it. We all want the good things of life. Thank you. So, we consume. All of us are consumers, including me. But are we all producers? Are we all producers? Are you producing anything right now? Why is the house quiet? Are we producing anything right now? Is there anybody producing anything right now? Tell me. Is there anybody producing? Isaac, you want to answer me? Are you producing something right now? So, do you know what happens to a consumer? A consumer spends money. A consumer spends. Now, how do you get money? For you to become a consumer, the best way to get money is to be a producer. When you are a producer and somebody pays for your services, somebody pays for the product that you produce or your inventions, then you will make money to become a consumer. Like I said, both the producer and the consumer are all consumers, but not all consumers are producers. 90 or 99% of people all over the world are consumers. Very few people are producers. Again, I'm here to tell you that I don't need you to just stay here. It's not wrong to be a consumer, but I need you, in addition to being a consumer, to be what? A producer. So don't just be a consumer. Aim to be a producer. Somebody is asking me, what am I going to produce? What am I going to produce? And this is where I will start, speaking about some things. For you to be a producer, you must have what? Some knowledge. Or skills. For you to be a producer, you must have knowledge and or skills. Your teacher today in school has knowledge. And so your teacher teaches you. And guess what happens at the end of the month? Your teacher is paid. Right? The person who invented or produces the iPad has knowledge. And so he puts it together. And that knowledge, when he puts it together, it becomes an iPad, it becomes a phone, it becomes a video game. And what do? You buy it. When you buy it, guess what? You are paying the producer. So the producer will continue to have what? More money. You that you are buying, you are consuming. But if you are not also producing, you can't make money to consume. Where do you get knowledge? This is one of the reasons why you go to school. So if you don't know why you go to school, stop it. If you don't know why you go to school, this is one of the reasons why you go to school. When mommy and daddy wakes you up in the morning and says, it's time to go to school, wake up. Do you know why? It's because mommy and daddy want you to go and what? Acquire knowledge. When they tell you go for coding classes, they want you to acquire skills. When mommy and daddy says go and learn the instruments, they want you to acquire skills. Why? Because they are preparing you for what you will become. And when you become, you can become a producer. Now, you can acquire more than a skill in order to be a producer. So there are some people, they can repair cars, they can maintain cars, they can, couple cars, they can do also, they can cook. Cooking is a skill. Some people can swim and then they coach other people how to swim. It's a skill. All right? Some people learn programming. Some people learn, engineering. Whatever you are doing, okay, I want you to pay attention to it. When mommy and daddy tells you, go and get things done, go and read. This is why, because they want you to acquire knowledge. They want you to acquire skills. When you acquire it, you are aiming to become what? A producer. You are aiming to become what? So, if you didn't hear anything today, we are all what? We should aim to become what? Why? Because there are very few people who are producers. And we must become part of those people who are producers. All right? We must become one of those people who are producers. And the reason why you can become a producer is if you acquire knowledge. If you acquire skills. That is the only way you can become a producer. All right? Can I move on? Does anybody have questions? Yes, you have a question. Oh, you are offering services. Yes. So because I didn't mention services is also part of, the things you can do. For instance, your nanny at home, your cook, they are offering you services. Those services, like the teaching I talked about, you acquire knowledge. So knowledge can be cooking skills. Knowledge can be how to babysit. Knowledge can be how to, change change tires, how to pump someone's tires like a vulcanizer, how to repair generators and engineer. Okay? There are different, like the software developer. If he realizes that there is a gap somewhere, there is an issue somewhere, he learns. And so, somebody will need his service, and they would request for his service. He provides that service, and then it's Payment is made in exchange for that service. All right? Payment is made in exchange for that service. So, since the holiday started, who has read a book? Very good. I can see few hands, not so many hands. I can see few hands, not so many hands. If you have not been reading, that is one of the ways you can acquire knowledge. You must get into the habit of what? Reading. Read books. You are reading the minds of people. The reason why you will stand before kings and not mere men is because of what you know. The reason mommy is called a doctor today is because of what she knows. If they tell you, let's go and see a doctor, you are confident to go and see the doctor. Why? Because you believe in the person's competence. That, okay, if I go and see a doctor and I'm not feeling fine, I will be better. But when you know that the person is not a doctor and the person prescribes medication to you, would you take it? No, you will not. So that is why people will go and see a doctor, because of their competence. Okay? I would also like to tell you something about this this knowledge and skills, and how people become producers. They do what? They maximize time. Producers maximize time. Producers maximize time. Who knows what time is? It's not what the time is saying, no. What time is. When you want to say, how did you spend your holiday? It is, how did you spend your time while you were away from school? Guess what? Time is a currency. Write that down. Time is a currency. What other currency do you know? What other currency do you know? I need answers. What other currency do you know? Tell me. Sorry? C.
CFA franc.
CFA franc. Okay, Swiss franc. Okay, that is money, right? Money is a currency. Time is a currency. Do you know why? Because you spend time just the same way you spend money. The way you spend time is the way you spend money. Please talk to me, guys. Talk to me. I want to know the discussion going on between both of you. What's the discussion? Talk to me. Yes.
I missed your last point, so I was asking.
Okay. I said time is currency. It's one of the types of currencies that we have in this world. Money is currency as well. And the similarity between both is that you spend time just the same way you spend money. We spend time and we spend money. Both are currencies. I'm also here to tell you, you may not have money today. Your mommy and daddy may have the money. But guess what? You all have time. So that means you all have what? Currency. You have what? Currency. You are all rich people. You don't believe me? Do you know you are a rich person? Do you know? You don't know that you're a rich person. Why? Because you have time. Because you have time, you are a rich person. But it is how you spend your time that determines truly if you are rich. How you spend your time today will determine what you will become. Isaac, please, can you move from there? I'm not comfortable with this discussion. No, I am not. I'm sorry. I don't accept that. Okay? Thank you. I mean, if you need to chit-chat, chat with me. Let me know what exactly is going on. You spend time. How you spend your time determines who you are becoming. What did I say? How you spend time determines who you are becoming. Did somebody write that down? How you spend time determines who you are becoming. It determines who you are becoming. If you spend all your time watching TV, playing video game, playing, sleeping, what do you gain? What do you gain? You gain nothing. It's just fun that you've gained. And can that fun translate into anything in future? Can it produce anything? When you finish watching TV, what does it produce for you? What does it produce for you? Nothing. So if you watch TV with all your time, what would you say that you have achieved with that time? You know what you have done? You have wasted time. And once it's wasted, it is gone forever. It's just like money. You can see another similarity with money. You spend time, you spend money. You waste time, and you what? Waste money. So as you are spending time, guess what? You are spending a currency. And as you are wasting time, you are wasting currency as well. And that is why when I started, I said, there are some children who have opportunities like us. There are some who don't have that opportunity. But how they spend their time determines what each of us will become in future. So there are some children today, in as much as they have time, they have the resources, they have the support of their mom and their dad, yet they are not using it well. And so they will not become in future. Are we going to become someone in future? Are we going to become someone in future? Very good. I need answers. Are we going to become someone important, someone relevant in future? How do we become those relevant, important persons in future? One, by aiming to become producers. How do we become producers? By acquiring knowledge and skills. The knowledge and skills are translated into services and they become money. Two, how we spend time right now is important. How we spend what? Time is important. So for us to become in future, let us spend our time wisely. Let us spend our time what? Wisely. And how do you spend your time wisely? You invest your time. How do you invest your time? Which is the same thing as spending it wisely. You invest your time, or you spend your time wisely by learning, by reading, by acquiring knowledge, by acquiring skills. That is how you spend time wisely. So has Auntie Naomi said you shouldn't play? No. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, right? You will play, but don't also forget that you will work. And you need to really work. And how do you work? By spending your time wisely. How do you spend your time wisely? By reading books, good books. By studying. By learning. All right? When mommy says it's time to go to school, go to school. Pay attention to what is being taught in school. All right? Make use of what you are learning. So if you are learning, coding, practice it so that you are excellent at what you are doing. Are you learning basketball? Are you learning lawn tennis? Learn it very well. It's a skill that you are acquiring. All right? And all of these skills, all of this knowledge, you will use them in the future. You are only, putting them together, learning today so that your future can be better. Okay? I mean, we've seen on YouTube, young people, having YouTube channels, and they are, meeting a huge number of audiences in the world. Today's world is a whole lot better. Why? Because of the internet, because of technology. You are the generation of the technology people. And each and every one of you can leverage on it. You can leverage on it to be huge and great people, irrespective of your age. You don't need to wait until you are 30, 40. You can leverage on it. If it is cooking that you like, learn how to cook. Learn how to cook so well that everyone will like to eat your food. And in exchange for the liking that they like, they will pay you. All right? If you know how to repair a car, it is a skill. We all use cars, don't we? In fact, none of us likes to walk nowadays. We want to enter into a car that has AC. It's one thing to have a car and to have a car that doesn't have AC, there's a difference. So imagine if the AC of your car is not working. You want the AC of your car to work. You will have to take it to the mechanic. And guess what? You will pay the mechanic to fix your car. To fix the AC so that the AC can work well. When I go to a party, I want a musician, somebody who can sing well, who can play well, who can drum well. I need the service of a good musician as well, isn't it? So, those are services as well. Those are skills that you acquire as well. All right? So, let me move on. Does anybody have any question before I go on? Great. So, let's move on. So, the next thing I want to talk about is who you are associating with. Who are you associating with? Who are you associating with? Your association. Who are your friends? Who are your friends? Are they people that all they talk about is football? All you people talk about is games. All that you talk about is the latest fashion, the latest hairdo, the BB Nanja, Big Brother Nanja. That is all you talk about. Hello? If you don't have friends who encourage you to be a better person, guess what? You don't have a friend. You need to associate yourself with people who encourage you to become better, a better person. Who you guys are talking about? Oh, what have you read? Challenge yourself. Have you read this book? Oh, I read this book. You need to read this book. Fantastic. That person who says, oh, I have just finished reading a book. You exchange books. And you read. and you come back to talk about it, whether on the phone or when you see yourselves in church or you see yourselves at home, you talk about what you have read. You talk about what you have learned. Oh, I have just learned how to use a Canva. It's easy to learn. Oh, do you know how to do graphics design? Oh, I don't know how to do graphics design. I think you should learn it. It is easy to learn it. And then the person teaches you. When you acquire that skill, you have acquired something that can be translated into money, and then you become a producer. It is important that you have friends. You associate with people who are not talking about, how we are going to storm the streets, how we are going to paint it red. Don't associate with bad company. Who will tell you it's okay to sneak out of the house to go for a party? Who will tell you it is okay to smoke? Who will tell you that everybody is doing it? Everybody is doing it. We can do it as well. Just go into mommy's purse and take just a note. It's okay. I mean, how can you come for lesson and you will not buy anything? I mean, everybody is buying. Why won't you buy as well? But I don't have money. How would you not have money? There's a way to have money. Just go into mommy or daddy's wallet and you will get it. Don't associate with such persons. Who you are becoming is important. Some children, some people have followed the wrong company, and guess where they are? They are behind bars. They're in prison. Has anybody ever visited a prison before? You visited a prison before. What was your experience? What went on your mind? What did you think about?
It was horrible. We saw a man who got arrested for raping a 14-year-old, and they were beating him, like telling him to confess. It was supposed to be for the art students, so to like see how the police operate themselves if you want to become a lawyer to like fight for the.
Thank you for sharing that. Did you hear her? The experience, I think a lot of us need to visit the prisons. Yes, we need to. You need to see it. You know why? So that you see the reality that when people do bad things, they can end up, no place to sleep. Some of them, they cram them up in a small room, like this. They can be 10 inside. They will be sweating, no fan, no light. That is where they will poo in Nigeria. That is where they sleep. That's where they pee. That's where they poo. Everything. They have insects eating them up. It is not a pleasant thing at all. They don't have TV. They can't talk to people. Even if the family comes to see them, after a while, some of them don't have any family that will keep coming and coming every day. The police will torture them. Some of them will be chained. They will be handcuffed. It is not a pleasant thing. So, the Bible says that you should flee from such bad company. My sons, hear my instructions. It is not just sons, not just men, not just boys, but even girls. If you remember when during COVID, the lockdown, or is it the curfew? I don't know how many of you watched the news. They took some girls from a nightclub. They were all wearing very skimpy things like this. The police arraigned them in front of a camera. You don't want to be part of those people. Your association matters. Iron sharpeneth iron. Befriend people that are good. If you start to speak to someone or you're a friend or somebody you call your friend, and you realize that the person is not straightforward, the person is not upright, the person is telling you to do things that are not good, what should you do? Leave the person. Find a way to leave the person. Did you hear me? Find a way. They will get you in trouble. They will get you in big trouble. And don't forget, you are responsible for who you are becoming. When someone spends time in prison or in jail, do you know what they call them? Convicts. That becomes a name. Even when that person wants to become governor tomorrow, if that boy changes or that girl changes, and he or she wants to become a president, a CEO of a company, if they bring out his record and they say he's a convict, an ex-convict, do you know what happens? Do you know what happens? They will most likely not want to appoint that person. You can imagine what somebody has done many years, and it is always during this phase of your lives, this age. This age. People do a lot during this age. So you need to be careful who you are befriending, who you are moving with, who you are talking to. It is absolutely, absolutely important. Develop friendship with, even if the person is not a good person, be the one to say, bros, what have you done today? What are you learning? This holiday, what are we going to achieve during this holiday? What are we going to achieve? Before the end of this 8 weeks holiday, we must have learned something. We must have read at least 4 books. Maybe I want to improve on my communication skills. Maybe I want to improve on my presentation skills. What was my report last term or last session? What was the feedback my teacher gave? Maybe my teacher gave me feedback that I have issues with my spellings. So what should I do? I should go and pay more attention to my spellings. You want to say something?
You told us that you should always go away from friends that can put you in trouble. Sometimes when you go away from them, they'll feel angry and they'll find a way to put you in trouble.
So you have to be wise as well, okay? So that is why when you know that they are bad people, okay, what do? You leave them. You said that sometimes they will find a way to get you in trouble. When you have reported them ahead of time, whether to your mom, to your dad, to your teachers, it also helps you because if anything happens, even if the person tries to get you in trouble, you can make reference to the fact that, look, he's trying to get back at me because of this. All right? And then again, if they know that you are not just a friend, but you're also saying, you know what, I need you to change your behavior. I need you to act right. Have you read the book? Our future is in front of us. When you are also encouraging the person to become a good person, it can also help to change that person, okay? But you have to be wise so that the person does not get you into trouble, all right? Any other question? Any other comments? Any question? So our association is very important. Uncle Lekon, you want to say something? Okay. So our association is very, very important. All right? Now, we're going to the third one, and I'll soon round up. Before we go to the third one, Isaac, tell me what you've learned. Tell me what you've learned so far.
I learned that our association is very important. We are all consumers, that we should aspire to be producers. And that time is also a currency. We should spend it wisely.
Tell me what you've learned. Different from what you said.
I learned that we should not just be consumers, that we should acquire skills and knowledge And be producers.
That's one. Two. Tell me something else.
Two. And time is currency. That spend your time wisely.
Thank you. What did I say about your future? Your becoming, who you are becoming? Who is responsible for it?
Myself.
You want to share? Tell us what you learned.
I learned that for us to become producers, we have to have a knowledge and a skill. That time is money, time is a currency, that we should spend it wisely.
Does any other person want to tell me what they learned?
I learned that we should associate with people that will encourage us.
Very good. I like that. Let's associate with people, that can encourage us to do good things, to become better people. You want to share?
I learned that who we are now is what we'll become in the future.
Whatever we are doing now will determine what we will be in the future. You want to talk to me?
I learned that how you spend your time determines what you will become.
Awesome. How you spend your time now will determine what you'll become. Tell me. Missy, what have you learned so far?
I've learned that if we are wasting our time, we are wasting money. Whatever we are supposed to do, we should do it. Spend our time wisely, actually.
Thank you. Very good. You want to say something as well?
I learned that time is currency.
Time is currency. What else? Did you come late? Okay, so who else did not come late that can share with us? Okay, thank you. Very good. What else did you learn?
And you associate with friends that add value to your life.
Thank you. Important for me. This was the very first thing I said. You are responsible for who you are becoming. You are responsible for who you are becoming. All right? Please don't forget that. I've heard a lot of things, but I need you to also add this to it. I am responsible for who I am becoming. And how do you become responsible? Is by acquiring knowledge, skills, okay? Spending time wisely, investing time, associating with the right people, the right friends who would encourage us to do better, okay? The third thing I want to talk about is our attitude. I know we are tired. We'll soon be done. I have just 10 more minutes to go. Our attitude. So we're all aware. What time were we supposed to get to church for this boot camp? 10. What time did we get here? 9:30. Some people got here 9. 9:15. So we should have the right attitude to work. We should have the right attitude to learning. Because when you learn, that's where you acquire knowledge. Have the right attitude to learning. When school resumes, set the alarm. Ask mommy to come and wake you. You mustn't go to school late. It shows your attitude to learning. It shows your attitude to learning. When you are in class and you sit next to a person who is always guess what? Stand up. Move away from there. So that you can learn. So that you can learn. It's an attitude. Do house chores. If you don't do house chores, you are not learning responsibility. How you do your house chores would also determine how you will do some things outside of home. Wake up early, wake up on time, clean up your room, lay your bed. When you eat, even when you have a nanny or a house help, wash your plates, wash your clothes. I know a lot of us have washing machines at home now, but learn some of these things, because you may find yourself in a place where these things do not exist. You don't have them. So what would you do if you don't have a washing machine, or you don't have your nanny, or you don't have your house help, or you don't have a driver? Mommy and daddy are not there to take you to school. So that means, would you go to school or not? Or you will stay at home? You will say, after all, daddy is not at home to take me to school, so I cannot go to school. If, for instance, mommy and daddy says today that, I have to be somewhere, I can't drop you guys in church today, what would you do? Hallelujah. You will stay at home and watch TV and play. That shouldn't be your attitude. You should say, Mommy, Daddy, please, can you call Pastor Yuti? Can you call our neighbor? Can you call? They are also going. Can they pick us up? Can we be a part of it? We want to go. We want to go and learn. Let us have the right attitude to learning. Let us have the right attitude to learning. Okay? Our attitude matters a lot. When you show willingness, if you see someone who knows how to do something very well, and you want to learn, if you don't go to that person and show interest and show the attitude to learn, but rather if you get to the person and all you are doing is you're arguing, you are contesting the person, guess what? The person will leave you. The person will want to teach you, because it's like, are you here to learn, or you are here to come and challenge me? Your attitude matters. Even with friends, when you are with friends and you talk to them, you encourage them. What is the friend's attitude to learning? What is that person's attitude to doing the right things? If the person's attitude to learning or doing the right thing is wrong, you can see it. So, for instance, you are talking about, I learned how to sketch, or I learned how to use graphics design or canvas. And all the person is saying, bros, leave that thing. Leave that thing. Let's talk about something better. You know what? Did you hear that? They are going to do one party somewhere, and I'm planning how to go. I'm planning how to... In fact, mommy and daddy will not allow me, but I'm going to find my way. I'm going to make sure I go. If they sleep, I will sneak out. You already know that person's attitude to life. That person's attitude to life. What do? You move away. Like I said, iron sharpeneth iron. Let your attitude be right. School is resuming next month. Make sure before school you get your things ready. Not that it is in the morning you start doing homework, assignments. The homework and the assignment is meant to help you learn further from what your teacher has taught you, so that when you're on your own, you can do it right. So get your things ready. Church is on Sunday. Saturday morning, you get your things ready for church. You iron your clothes. Your shoes must be ready. Your bag, your Bible, your water. Put everything together. Not on Sunday morning. It shows your attitude. So that you don't get to church late. You don't get to school late. Attitude. It is very, very important. Okay? I think I'll stop there for today. If you have questions, comments, And then I can take more persons. Yeah.
It's not a question, but it's a comment. So, I and my younger sister, my parents signed us up for this camp where we will be reading books every day throughout the month of August. And the book that we read yesterday was Attitude.
Fantastic. You read about
Attitude. And what we're supposed to do is we read the book, then we write a review, then send it. So the book talked about having a right attitude, and the definition it gave us of attitude is an attitude is a window of what helps you to see the world. So if you have a bad attitude, you would see the world as a place where only complaints, arguments, problems, and only negative things take place. But a person with a positive attitude would only concentrate on the solutions on how to correct this mistake, or not to complain but to search for a solution.
Well done. Thank you so very much for sharing. Thank you. So she read about attitude. You can see it's absolutely very important. Any other comment, question? I haven't heard from some people. You want to talk to me? What have you learned? Share with me.
I've learned is that it's good to have a right attitude and positive attitude.
Very good. Apart from that, what else?
I learned that it is your responsibilities on what you'll be in the future.
Thank you. So when you are going to school, don't go to school because of mommy and daddy. You go to school to learn. You are going to school to learn of your own self. Don't go because mommy and daddy said I should go to school, so I'm going to school. No, you are doing yourself a disservice when you do that. When you are going to school, you are going to school to learn. Talk to me.
I learned that whenever you're learning something, you should always have the right attitude to it. For instance, let's say things aren't going as well as maybe you planned. You shouldn't just give up. You should try and put in your hard work, and you should be determined to get the results that you want.
Thank you. So that attitude to learning. You know, sometimes some of us, when we learn a new thing and we find it difficult, what happens? We just give up. We're like, I can't do this. No, I can't do it. Well, what should you do? With the right attitude, which is determination, talk to other people. Talk to your teacher again. Talk to mommy and daddy. I am having difficulty with this. Can you help me? All right? You want to share what you've learned? I have just a few more minutes.
I learned that we should have a positive attitude in everything we do. And also in the book I read yesterday, I also saw that when we try something and it doesn't work, we try again, we should not complain. Instead of having a negative attitude, you should have a positive one.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well done. Attitude is very important. You want to speak to us?
I learned that producers maximize time. And if you want to be a producer, you need to have the knowledge or skill.
Producers maximize time. Are we producers here? Are we producers here? Are you promising me you will be producers alone? Are you promising me that? I want to see you in future and say that you are a producer, not just a consumer. Mommy, buy. Mommy, buy. Don't forget when you're in traffic and you're saying, Mommy, buy. You remember I'm a consumer. Go to the supermarket. Daddy, buy. You're a consumer. Always remember that. Okay? Bye-bye. All the bye-bye people. Do you have bye-bye people in the house? Yeah? Do we have I can see some people smiling. We have bye-bye people in the house. We are consumers. It's good to consume, but let's all aim to produce as well. Jamiloji, talk to me.
I learned that you can waste your time and you can also waste your money at the same time. I also learned that time and money are both currencies, and that if you waste your time, you waste opportunities of becoming a greater person in future. And if you waste your money, that means you're just wasting
something. Time. When you're watching TV, when you're playing on that iPad for 2 hours, 1 hour, remind yourself, am I spending time wisely? Am I investing my time well? Okay? I am responsible for who I am becoming. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for listening.